Hello everyone, this is Mr. Ege, and we'll continue with the design of the our castle residence. Uh, we are we just in the last previous video we created the exterior walls, the roof, and the two towers of the castle residence, and now we're going to add the rest of the residence. The house, this particular house, okay, is emptied using the shell command. That is solid edit shell. There are two shell commands. I warn you in AutoCAD. You cannot simply type shell and get empty the inside of a solid model. You have to go solid edit shell command, okay? And we empty the inside, and the wall thickness is set to about 6 inches. Oh, in the 1/144 scale, so it's less than 6 inches, 0.6 inches, okay? And we reduce everything 144 times. And now we are on the roof of the castle towers, and I'm just going to change the view, our viewpoint, because simply dragging the corner a little bit like that, and this will give you an idea what it looks like right now. Also, I'm going to change the shade mode from wireframe. I'm going to just I'm typing shade mode right now, and I'm setting it to conceptual shade mode. So this is how it looks from outside. This is the effect that we want to create. We have rest of the roof except the towers, and towers will have, and inside is empty. We don't have windows yet. We were going to add windows, okay, and the land around it, okay. The roof for the towers has to be added carefully because it requires the user coordinate system to be carried with you up to the roof first, okay? So we want the UCS, see this XYZ coordinates over here at the lower left-hand corner. We want that to be positioned on the top so that we can operate, okay? So for that purpose, I'm typing UCS, enter, okay? And our computer is asking me multiple options I have, and I want to go with the center of the circle, so I'm typing CEM for object snap. See if it's going to be able to find the center of the circle. Click, and then I'm going to just simply click and enter. Right. So the RUCS is set up at the center of the top of the roof. Okay, at the very center of the roof. The cylinder in the front, and that enables me to go with the cone command. The cone, where do I find the cone? Make sure that your workspace is set up correctly. The workspace is set to 3D modeling on mine. As you can see, I have all 3D modeling. And the cone under the box group of commands, I'm expecting to find the cone here. And there it is, cone. And the first question the computer will ask you, AutoCAD will ask you, center of the cone. I already knowing this ahead of time, I located. I noticed that you have to be proactive. You have to make plan ahead of time. So I knew it's going to ask me the start point of the cone. So that's why I put my UCS. I carry the UCS to the roof at the center of the roof. So I know already the center is 0, 0 now. 0, 0, enter. And it did not turn out to be correct. I'm going to do this again. And I'm going to tap CEN this time. Okay, I'm going to select, click. Now the cone is coming pretty much the way I expected. At this point, I do not need object synapse.
Good morning, Fairfax. Staff and students, please pardon the interruption at the beginning of morning announcements.
I'm sorry, I'm going to take a break. Okay, so we're going to continue from here. And I am going to make this cone, the eave extending out about I turned off the object snap. I am extending the eaves of the roof about 3 feet. This is about 3 feet, and move my cursor up to a certain height, and click on it. All right. So I'm going to just take this back, and the object snap, even though it's turned off, 3D object snap got in the way. So I'm going to just simply select this entity, the cone, erase it, and start it over. Again, cone command is here. Computer is asking me center of. So I'm typing CEN for object of snap, moving my cursor close to this edge of the cylinder, and center is selected. And I'm moving my, remember, I turned off the object snap, 2-dimensional object snap and 3-dimensional object snap. That should give me a better click here now, and it worked. Cool. That's the effect you want to create. And finally, the second one has to be done, and I'm going to move my UCS again. I'm typing UCS as I did in the first one. And now computer is looking for the start point, center point of the cone. I'm going to type CEN for center. This is a different kind of object snap. There are two kinds of running mode object snaps and current object snaps. So running mode object snaps can be set from the menu button at the bottom, object snap button, and I can show you where it is right now. But a stronger object snap would be typing the name of the object snap at the time you need it. So when I type CEN, computer knows that I'm looking for center of the edge of the circle, of the cylinder, which is a circle. Click on it, okay? And basically, now I'm going to simply turn on, it's asking me second point, I turned on this, the objects are regular 2-dimensional objects, and I click on it, okay? And enter, okay? Now I can go to clone command and see if I can type 0, 0 for the entrance. Nope, didn't work. I'll try it again. Clone command, and I will go object snaps CEN and select the center. Okay, and I'm going to move my cursor as far as 3 feet beyond the edge of the tower, and move cursor up. Okay, about 6, 7 feet. That's about okay. It's done. Okay. I'm going to click on the save button. You need to save to refresh the memory of your computer, and this is the way it looks pretty much right now. And I'm going to turn off the grid so that you can see better. Okay. It looks like pretty much the nice solid model of a smaller house, 2-floor house. There are a number of things to add, of course, and I'm most concerned with the windows because it's empty inside. There are no walls, no windows. It doesn't look realistic. So I'm going to add windows and doors, okay, slowly and gradually on each surface. But when I am doing that, I'd like you to remember that you have to carry your UCS video. Okay, so hit escape and click save again, and we do that as often as every time you accomplish everything. And what is missing here in general? Windows and doors, and then trim. Trim is what we call the part of the wood parts sticking out of the roof about 2 inches or so. That's very important. And we need stoop, that's a concrete, about say 9 inches high concrete step in front of the exterior door. And then you need a land, obviously, okay? You have to have some kind of land at least, some kind of ground, and the windows. So we're gonna do this right now. So I'm going to just move our UCS again on the surface in the hope to create the door, okay? And I'm going to just simply type UCS, enter, okay? And it gives me a number of options here. One of them is face. I will go with the face option to select, see if I can locate. Face is going to be the entrance. Basically, I'm moving my cursor over the face and entrance and enter. Okay. So at this point, I'm ready to create my door step. Door step is going to be about 9 inches higher than ground line. That's very important to remember. And then it's going to be another 9 inches or so, okay, higher. So I'm going to click on the view cube type over here, okay, and now I need to draw the center line. It's very important that I draw the center line, so I'm going to go to the line command, see if I can find the center point. Okay, this is good. And I'm going to turn on the ortho mode so that I draw a vertical line. Good. Enter. And center line does not show for some reason. Maybe I should change the color to red. Okay. So that I can see the lines. And when I type color command, computer gives me a selection of palette of colors right here. Okay, so magenta, let's go with the magenta. Okay, and let's repeat the line command. I'm looking for the indication of a triangle that indicates the center point. Okay, now I can see the line that I just created earlier. Okay, this is the line I just created earlier. I'm going to change this color to red. See if it's going to make any difference. Go to quick properties, see the color to red or magenta, either way. And I still cannot see it. Color is changed. Here's what I want to do. Shade mode, I'm getting out of the shade mode and going back to wireframe. Okay, now I can see better and you can see better too. Okay, good. So let's draw a rectangle. Okay. And command for that is rectangle. And I want to create a rectangle of to the left. Okay, about so I'm 6 feet by 9 inches. Okay. So I'm going to turn off the object snap because it's looking for object snap right now. Okay. Now I'm going to create another rectangle from where it is finished. And I'm using this time object snap. And this time it's going to be width of the door. Okay, the door is 3 feet wide, so this is going to be 1.5. And there's a written command for this one, add. You just simply type. If you're going to the left, -0.3, comma 0.05. Okay. So this way we established the height of the door where it starts. Okay. Now let's go with the rectangle that represents the door opening, which is 3 feet by 7 feet. Okay. So we're going to start from the end of this line. And we're going to go at. Now notice that this is the format to enter relative coordinates. So we're going to go right first. So this is 0.3, 3 feet, and comma, and we're going up, and 0.7 inches. Okay, and we're going to move this from where it is to where it's supposed to be. So I'm finding the midpoint and selecting here. Good. Every door comes with a door frame, so we're going to just add a 3-inch of door frame, and I'm going to use offset command for this, and offset is there, and computer is asking me offset distance, and 0.03 for 3 inches. Like that. Okay. All right. And this is going to be the door opening, but I expect to have 2 windows on both sides of the door. Okay. And also the bottom frame needs to be trimmed, so I'm going to use the trim command. In the trim, line cuts line, so we want these lines to be cut. Okay. I'm going to just simply explode this line so that I can trim it off partially. Okay. I can even draw a 3D color line from the end of the line to here, or I can use the extend command. So 3D poly works always for me. Okay, enter. All right. What else do we need? Another rectangle. Command is rectangle. Or if you don't want to type commands, just simply go to workspace and go to the drafting annotation, change your menu, and then go with the rectangle command. Now, standard window sizes. Okay, there are many windows, but one of the very common windows, okay, is 3 by 5. All right. So I'm going to select 3 inches by 5 inches. 3 feet, I'm sorry, by 5 feet. All right. So I'm going to just simply enter at 0.3 comma minus 0.5. Okay. I need 2 of them. So I'm going to simply copy one from one end, click to the other. Okay. All right, so we have two windows. Nothing happened yet. These are just lines. They are not actually windows. There will be windows replacing this place. To have a window hole opening, we're going to extrude them and then subtract. Okay. But I just want you to first use the offset command for the window frames. Like everything else, windows come also with frames. Okay. So I'm going to use the offset command. And offset command will ask me the thickness of the offset. It also remembers 0.03 from the last application, enter key, and select the window, click inside, select the window, click inside, and now you have 0.03, okay? All right, and then you go occasionally and save your work. Good. Now, this particular UCS, I'd rather to save it because later on I have a feeling I'm going to come back here again. So it's a good idea to save this UCS. Okay, so I'll go with the named option and named UCS option, and then select the save. And the name, let's call it Windows or front. Front is a good name. Okay, enter. So that when you need it some other time, you can call it by the same. So this is the front Windows to save from. Okay. You do not need this rectangle anymore. I'm going to erase it. We use it as a construction line. But the other rectangle, you need to, you're going to extend it. You're going to make it larger and extrude it because it's a stoop. It is your stoop. And in front of the door, there should be at least one step, okay, below the floor, house, residential floor, okay, up to get inside the house. Okay, so this is six feet long. Maybe we can extend it even more. See if we can do that. Click on here, all the way up here, and click. Again, we can adjust this. Okay, good. This particular square that I just adjusted, okay, will be extruded and become a concrete stoop. So it's one step above the street level, and then building floor is one step above the stoop. So you have at least 2 steps difference between inside the house and outside the house. And why do we have to have that? When there's a water, rain, snow outside, we want to keep inside above the water level, okay? If there is so much rain and snow, you want the house stay dry and clean, and that's why we always raise the floor way above, normally way above the street level. Okay, and that also determined by the each area, local area, and some houses, for example, in the areas where a lot of rain is happening, they're just simply raised more than 1 foot, sometimes 2 feet above the full, street level. Okay, so far so good. How about the second floor? Are we going to do the second floor? Perhaps this is the base plan. Yeah, let's do the second floor as well. So instead of creating these rectangles already there, I might as well use the existing ones. So I'm going to copy, use the CP. Okay, this window is pretty standard, so I'm copying this rectangle, and I'm turning off the object ortho mode. How far is it supposed to go, first of all? It's supposed to go about 10 feet. Okay, and this is, let's do this 10 feet. How far is the 10 feet from this line? Let's draw a line command from here. Okay, and here, enter. And then let's use the offset command. Enter. And offset is, I can say, one, enter, and select the line, and select the line, and select the point. Okay, so this is 10 feet high. Okay, I just wanted to show you that this is about the correct height of the top of the window. All right, so I'm good. Now I can copy. So copy command here, enter, select the center point. Let's go ahead, click here. Okay. We need one here and another one here. Okay. So I'm going to just simply use the move command and select this corner. Again, right mouse button, press the move command, click here, and select here. There it is. All right, so we have the second floor is also ready. I don't need this line anymore. I'm going to erase this line. Delete. And actually, center line, I don't need it anymore. I'm going to just delete the center line too. Okay. And save, of course. All right, so far so good. I just want to show you the effect of this. Okay, how it works and everything. So, instead of going ahead and completing the entire house, I can simply extrude this and then demonstrate it. Okay, all right. So I'm going to just change this like that. I'm going to simply change. All right. The angle viewpoint, my viewpoint. And I'm going to use the extrude command. So of course, extrude command is in a different workspace, so I'm going to 3D modeling. Okay, and go to the extrude, and I'm going to select door extrusion. Yeah, you can have a back door if you like, or you don't have to have a back door. So that's definitely an option. Okay, so enter, and we don't want to extrude too much for the door. Enter, and subtract. Let's use the subtract command. Enter, and select the entire building. Enter, select the door extrusion. Enter, so that you can have hole where the door is supposed to be. Very good. Save. Save. But for the windows, yes, we're going to definitely extrude the windows. Okay. So extrude command again. Enter. And we choose 3 windows on the first floor, second floor, and 2 windows in the first floor. This is going to be much more extrusion. Enter. And how much extrusion are we talking about? It doesn't matter anymore. The length of the building is 3 inches. I can go with 3 inches, but as long as it's more than 3 inches, and which it is in this case, I'm good. So click on it. Now, subtract command, okay, enter, and you select the entire building, enter. Now you need to select what you're extruding from, okay, one by one. Click, 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 and one more click, enter. All right, windows are created in the front and back. Okay, so if you want to see what it looks like, okay, if you want to see what it looks like, change the shade mode, but save first. Go to save work, click, okay, and then type shade mode, enter, select the conceptual, click. All right, so I was expecting to see some windows, and it is not, so I have to modify what I did. Okay, so I'm going to go to the shade mode and switch it to 2D wireframe. And let's see what's going on here. On the 2-dimensional view, it looks like extrusion has been made. Zoom previous. Okay, so apparently the things did not work for that, for the extrusion. I'm going to just simply modify things a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to Control Z, and I suggest you use the same thing if you're at this point with me. Control Z or undo command, okay, will take you step by step. Okay. Okay, so we are back in here. All right. Are you with me so far? So Control Z, I took a, so what happened is that I extruded back side, but front side did not extrude properly. And so this is not good enough for me. So what I like to do, move the extrusions forward a little bit, okay? Or at least press pull the extrusions. Okay, so to press pull extrusions, I'm going to try either one of them. Okay, we'll move the extrusion forward. Or I can move the entire extrusion. So I can go to top view, okay? and type UCS, enter, and view option. I change that. And now move command, and that extrusion needs to be a couple of inches down with the ortho mode on. So what I did is simply move it down a little bit, not too much, a little bit, okay? And then simply change the UCS, name the UCS back to where it's supposed to be, or previous. Named, and the one we saved. Okay. Okay. All right. Good. I think this solved the problem, and just simply we're going to, because everything is moved forward towards the front a little bit, okay, and I can literally change the shade mode to show you what's going on, enter, and I'm going to go with the conceptual, okay, option, and simply subtract, enter, select the entire building, enter, and select the objects, windows only, this time, and enter, and you have the windows created now. So what happened to the door? We need to do the door one more time, and I just want to demonstrate this one more time. You have the windows created in the back and the front. Okay. All right. So we're going to do this door. Okay. I'm going to just switch back to wireframe mode with the typing shade mode. Enter. Okay. Click on the wireframe. All right. UCS is already set. Good. Door needs to be created. Okay. UCS is already correct. I'm going to change the UCS. User coordinates will be changed, and